PHP, and JavaScript. Those are the skills you need to be a good WordPress developer or a full stack developer. But to get here, you have to go through different stages. And in this video, I will share with you my journey from complete beginner to working at a top 20 tech company. When I was in college at a family event, I was talking with one of my cousins and he was telling me that he's a PHP developer and he had a pretty good income. This got me thinking, and I remember that I took a HTML class when I was in high school and I really enjoyed it. I started looking at the PHP documentation and I understood exactly nothing. It was a bunch of gibberish and it didn't make any sense. This is because I didn't have a good coding foundation, but I thought to myself, it has to be a better way. I was searching on how you can build a website and somehow I landed on WordPress. I was really fascinated because you could just install this on a server and bam, you have a website. I installed it on a free hosting platform called 000 Webhost that still exists. And I started to navigate the admin interface. I learned about themes and plugins and what they can do. And after some noodling around, I built a simple website with a contact form. But I was not completely satisfied. Free themes had limitation and I wanted to be able to modify the theme and the layout how I wanted. This is 2011 when page builders were not a thing. To my surprise, I learned that WordPress uses PHP and I have to learn PHP in order to develop themes. I thought it had to be an easier way to build a WordPress theme without knowing how to code. And it was one. I found a visual WordPress theme builder. It was a PC app similar to Figma where you can design a website and after that you can export it as a WordPress theme. I thought I have enough knowledge of WordPress that I could get a job. When I started looking for one, I quickly realized that I kind of have to know how to code to get a job. At least where I was living back then, WordPress was not that popular and it was viewed only as a blogging platform. I remember one of my first freelance jobs was to add content on a WordPress hosted blog. One day when I was visiting my wife's parents, I met with a family friend of theirs. He wanted to get to know me or something and we talked about my goals for the future and what I do now. I started talking about WordPress and how I build websites on it. At that time, he was looking for someone to build 2 websites for his businesses, so he offered me a job. One of the most important things that I had at this job was a mentor. My boss introduced me to a senior developer who helped me when I got stuck. This developer introduced me to the world of CSS and JavaScript. I learned how to customize a theme with CSS and how to add custom functionality. I started to look into the themes files and how I can read the PHP stuff that was in there. I quickly realized that it was not that difficult, at least doing basic stuff like adding JS files to the theme, writing some basic shortcodes, or creating custom page templates. The most advanced thing that I did at this job was to create a floating button on the left of the screen. When you clicked it, a contact form will slide in. I did this by adding some HTML to the footer, styling it in CSS, and I wrote a simple jQuery function that will slide the folder in and out. I say simple, but back then it felt like I was doing rocket science. After about 10 months of working for my friend, I thought I got enough knowledge, so it was time for me to look for a new challenge. Something that will stretch my WordPress muscle a bit more. I started looking for jobs in my local market and I landed a new developer position. A farm tools company needed someone to build their online store and to do some online marketing. Because I was the only developer, I decided to give it a try on building my first custom theme from scratch. I asked my boss to hire a designer to create the design of the website since I was not that confident on this part. I started to read some documentation, I went through a lot of tutorials, and I finally was able to put together the files for a custom theme. I had the design, so I started developing. 4 months later, we had a custom designed and developed WooCommerce store. For this website, I custom code almost everything. I created sliders, tabs, accordions, everything built from scratch with no plugins. I wanted to learn how to do all of this stuff so I will not be dependent on a plugin or theme. I got more familiar with PHP, JS, and CSS. 1 year went by and I started to see that I was not learning new things. I always knew that if I want to have a great income, I have to be a specialist. So I decided to look for another job. I didn't find anything local and I decided to try to apply for jobs on freelancing platforms. I tried Fiverr where I sold a couple of gigs, but ultimately I landed on Upwork. It was the newcomer and it had the most promising jobs. After several applications, I landed my first job on Upwork. I worked part-time for an Australian digital marketing agency. Here I developed only custom websites, but using some kind of page builder. It was called Headways Themes. I don't remember exactly how I used it, but was not even close to modern page builders. Probably this is why they are not around anymore. I worked with them for about 10 months. I had to end our collaboration because I moved to the US and the rate that they were paying me was under the US minimum wage. For the next 6 months, I worked on various gigs on Upwork. From small fixes to medium-sized websites, some of them were custom code, some of them were websites built with WP Bakery Page Builder. By this time, I had a good grasp on CSS, a good understanding of jQuery, and I knew to create simple functions with PHP. Things like getting all posts from a category and building a post grid with it. Creating responsive websites, using jQuery for simple actions like a sticky nav bar. I was able to develop pretty good websites and WooCommerce stores. Freelancing is great. It has its advantages and its disadvantages. I was starting to build kind of the same project and I was feeling like I was not learning new things. So I decided to look for a full-time job as a WordPress developer. After several interviews, I managed to secure a job working for a mid-sized digital marketing agency. Most of their websites were custom designed and they were built using WP Bakery Page Builder. But because they were custom designed, it included a lot of CSS and some JavaScript, and some were custom built from scratch. I started off by developing websites with WP Bakery, doing regular updates and some light maintenance and fixes. There were two crucial points in my time there that helped me get to the next level and gain my team's trust with more complex projects. The first one was when a project manager had a crisis with one of their accounts. They were behind schedule with a website and I was the only one available for new builds. He asked me if I can finish the project that day. I said yes and I started the development process. It wasn't something crazy and I knew I could finish in that day, and I did. He was thrilled, and from that moment he was requesting me to deal with his more complex projects. But the most important one was when one of the senior developers quit. She was working on a big website and nobody had the skill and knowledge that she had except for the other senior developer who had his hands full at that time. My boss asked me if I could take over and I agreed. It was beyond my skill level, but I was willing to put in the work to learn what was necessary. With help from the other senior developer and with a lot of long days at the office, we managed to deliver the project. One other project that helped me to develop both my PHP and JS skills was to develop a page builder based on advanced custom fields. I tried my best to make it as complex as WP Bakery, but to load the page twice as fast. After 1 year of working for them, I got a LinkedIn message from a recruiter. He asked for my phone number because he had an opening. When I talked with him the first time, I could not believe he was from IBM. I asked several times if he was from the real IBM. After 2 interviews with the exec team and 1 technical interview, they came back with an offer for me. I worked for IBM for about 2 years and a half, and 80% of the time I spent on one project. I can't talk about what I did there, but it was epic and it helped me grow as a developer in many ways. I dialed in my PHP and JS skills and I learned new ones like React. I developed a lot of plugins, I learned how to use APIs and how to build APIs. There are some things that helped me grow and gain the success that I had. I never stopped learning or got comfortable with my skill level. I wanted to learn more and more every day. There were a lot of days when I worked 12 to 14 hours. I wanted to deliver on time every time, or if it was not for a delivery, it was because of curiosity. I lost track of time a lot because I was fascinated about learning how to develop something. There was nothing in my mind I couldn't develop. If someone else did it, I could do it. And also I believe that with code there is nothing you couldn't develop. And in my whole career, I found that is true 95% of the time. Where there is a will, there is a way. If I didn't have my LinkedIn profile, I wouldn't have got the IBM job. And it was nothing fancy, just a picture of me, my education, my skills, and past experience. I screwed up more times than I would like to admit, but every time I was honest about it. My employers always appreciated this, and probably this is why they were willing to take bigger risks with me. This concludes my journey from zero to senior developer. I hope it will inspire you to develop a great career as a developer or as a business owner. If it helped you, consider liking and subscribing to my channel and watch the suggested video. I bet it will help you even more.